The mind is the most powerful muscle that you have. But listen, this is serious. This is how you, the beginner, can really understand how you can get a better version of yourself. Is focus on building the muscles in your mind. And how do you do that? Well, you got to try to become disciplined, all right? This is just my opinion, but the harder you work, the more consistent you are, the more repetitions you give yourself, the closer you get to discipline, the stronger your mind becomes, right? And a strong mind is absolutely essential in battle. You know, that builds belief. And, you know, as I said, consistency. Sorry, I'm just trying to get the light a little bit better. Consistency, repetitions, showing up when you don't want to, when you're tired, putting the hours in, putting the shift in, year after year after year, trying to improve on yourself. You are improving your muscles in your mind. Going to the gym, smashing the bag, hitting that heavy bag really hard. Getting that deep tiredness, right? Shadow boxing all the time, every single day. Training, burpees if you want to, push-ups, calisthenics, chin-ups. There's a lot to do, but if you want to put yourself in the best position to win, you have to get it up here first, right? And up here first means you've got to show up and convert. Motivation isn't going to be enough. You've got to keep being motivated. Yes, that's how you get discipline. And it's the discipline that will reinforce your mind, or they work together. And that's the most powerful tool you can have. Going into a fight, going into a challenge, you got a lot of things to conquer, right? Fear being one of them, but you're going to have a better chance of conquering it if your mind is stronger. You're going to have a better chance of succeeding when you're disciplined. You're going to have a better chance of conquering fear when you're disciplined, right? And these are just parts of boxing that, you know, aren't anything to do with boxing itself. You know, the skill factor and the skill side of it, you have to learn that separately. But focusing on the muscles in your mind are going to be the most valuable thing you can do, I think. You know, if you don't have it up here and you're not quite sure if you're going to do this, and you're feeling a little bit dejected at there, and your confidence is a bit low, like, you don't stand a chance really, you know. But if your mind is strong, you've been showing up, you're doing the discipline, you've been training, you know, you're doing the best you can, you're showing up when you're tired, and you're putting the effort in, and it really isn't that fun, that's when you know you're in a good place. You know, you're doing the best you can, you're showing up when you're tired, and you're putting the effort in, and it really isn't that fun, that's when you know you're in a good place. All right, because in the long run, that's going to serve you well. So just a quick video today. I just had this on my mind. I'm trying to put a bit more content out. I'm bringing up some old content too, because some of the new subscribers, and shout out to anybody new, haven't seen those. So I'm just going to repost them a little bit, because there are some good tips in there, you know. But focus on yourself and focus on getting as disciplined as you can, being consistent as you can, focusing on yourself, meaning don't have anybody else in your life that isn't there for you, right? If you've got a missus in your life and she's not supporting you, and you're in these toxic arguments or whatever, you got to do what's best for you. You know, you've got to get yourself out of that and focus on you. Eat healthy. I've said all this at the end. I just did a little sort of like forearm fingerprint push-ups with like kind of a Russian style militant push-up situation, where I was just like trying to show you guys it took me a minute to build that up, and I did it through discipline and repetition and consistency and a little bit of pain. But I'm just trying to bring you my real life, you know. Shout out to anybody that made it this far. Focus on you, get consistent, be disciplined, stay focused, and you know, your life will become easier. That's it. I'm not sure if I said goodbye twice, but if I did, I'll say it again. Thanks again. As always, very grateful. Take it easy. Please don't try this at home. This took me a while to build up, but it was discipline that did it, and consistency, and pushing through some pain barriers and stuff like that. And I'm only showing you this because part of this video is the mind over matter. If you want to do something, you know, you really got to stick down and do it, and focus and be consistent and be disciplined. Listen, winter's still here. Hopefully you're getting on with it, embracing it, you know, stop snoozing, get up early, write a list, focus on yourself, eat healthy, get a good night's sleep, get in nature, try to get in some sun, you know, you'll be well on your way to being a better version of yourself, and well on the way to trying to be the best version of yourself, which is what this channel is about as well. And shout out if you made it this far. Thank you. Sorry if I'm breathing a little heavy, but just trying to help people understand how powerful this is in any situation. That's it from me. Boxing on the Edge. Have a great weekend.
Getting better, man. Well, Dad is here! Whoa! Fucking hell yeah! bench.